Thank you to Ubisoft for helping make this video happen. E3 2021 continues on past this moment in time, but to understand what this video is, we need to go back a few weeks. We were invited to play a closed build of Rainbow Six Extraction, pre-launch, pre-announcement, and we got to see some rather interesting things within. Rainbow Six Extraction has been in the works since before the pandemic started, and of course, the company would be trying to shy away from their previous codename, Quarantine, after the hell year that was 2020. And between leaks and rumors and lots of waiting, we finally have a look at what the game truly is. Imagine it's 2018 again, and you've booted up Rainbow Six Siege, only to find the active event was a zombie PvE sort of mode called Outbreak. Fast forward to 2021, and this concept has been much more fleshed out. No pun intended. Rainbow Six Extraction is a 3-player co-op shooter set in an offshoot timeline from Siege, where the React team gets put together to face off against an alien threat called the Archaeans, who are hell-bent on engulfing the world in their weird goo and tentacles. Familiar faces such as Mira, Thermite, Ash, and others stake their lives against the Archaean threat across a swath of different locations. But in our early access, we were only able to play on the Alaska map. We only had a certain number of operators to play on this build, so we weren't really entirely sure how many differences there are going to be between here and the full game, but the operators have been somewhat retooled to work better in this environment, such as Vigil's ERC-7 surveillance jamming backpack now becoming more like Caviar's sneaky feet and letting you stealth past highly populated areas without being noticed. Operators are also able to equip a lot of different weapons, rather than just the loadouts that they have from Siege themselves, as well as different types of equipment, such as body armor, extra ammo, reconnaissance drones, and extra explosive packs, which fuel your flash, stuns, impacts, frag grenades, and the like. Stealth is incredibly important, by the way, as moving silently and using suppressed weapons is a great way to get through to your objectives relatively unscathed, because you're heavily outnumbered and will likely get pretty overwhelmed if not coordinating with your team properly. As you move from objective to objective across the level, the difficulty scales upwards, and the deeper into these facilities you go, the harder you'll have to fight to simply survive, with your third and final one being a pretty gargantuan task, and then on top of that, you still have to make it to Extraction. And you'll want to play carefully, because your units will come back hurt, and stay hurt until they've taken off enough time to come back to full health again, or if they're killed in action, you have a single chance on the next mission to extract them safely. Or maybe the conversations on who gets to save their characters will turn a little rowdy because there's only one chance per time, per extraction, per map to save one at all. So only one player can save their favorite operator on a single run-through, and your team must make a second or even a third run to help your teammates' roster also fully replenish. And besides that, you still have to wait for that operator to recover their health back anyway. This gameplay loop forces the player to use more than the one kind of operator they're used to, and to fill multiple roles across your play sessions. So, theoretically, the game should have a decent amount of longevity to it, and if you lose every operator somehow, I have been assured by the devs that there is a safeguard in place to make sure you aren't stuck and unable to play completely. Interestingly, Ubisoft is also pitching this game not as a supplement or competitor to Siege, but as a different title entirely. And since there's no PvP or competitive modes available from what I have seen so far in that build, it could attract a very different audience compared to the heavily competitive community that Siege fosters. Besides that, it'll probably fit pretty snugly into my own rotation, something to play without worrying about any outside forces other than my friends accidentally flashing me before entering a room and then letting me die. Some habits do die hard, even between games. And if you need a little more convincing before you do pick it up yourself, check out some of the gameplay that I got to capture during the beta event and see for yourselves, risk-free, if this game is, in fact, for you. My name is Richard, and I think that's the end of the video, so I will catch you on the flip.